I now have a really solid group of friends that we process life together. On Sundays, we get together and we share what we're feeling and we ask one another what we need. And it's just a safe place to live life in community.
Ooh, those are good questions. Say them again. How are you doing?
How are you feeling? So we have a feelings card.
Feeling?
How are you feeling? And so it has 8 emotions on it.
Yeah.
And my husband is in the group as well. It's men and women. And he found it was very helpful. The feelings card talks about what's going on in your body, because sometimes we're so disconnected from our emotions that we can only clue into what we're feeling by what's going on in our body, whether it's neck pain, stomach ache. And so fear is in your stomach, shame is on your neck.
I've never thought of that.
How your body is communicating what you're feeling. And so that piece of the card was helpful for him to identify what emotion it was. Because sometimes we won't say the emotion because it feels like, well, I'm happy, but joy, that seems ridiculous. Or, I don't feel great, but shame, that feels too heavy. So often as women, we'll say I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That's a allowable thing to say, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's right next to fear. We wouldn't say I'm scared.
Yeah.
We'd say I'm overwhelmed.
Exactly.
But if you dig into with overwhelmed, what are you scared of? Oftentimes we're overwhelmed because we have so much on our plate or so much we are taking responsibility or ownership of, and we're fearful we will fail, we will let someone down, that we will be rejected. There's something in our not completing what we have signed up to do that makes us feel overwhelmed.
I would say if I sat down in your group, most of the time I would point to that card. And so you're saying what's behind that? And it would be fear of failure.
Yeah.
Okay, so how are you feeling?
Yeah, so how are you feeling? So we have rules of you just sit and listen. You don't comment. You don't. You could maybe ask clarifying questions or even ask, could I ask a clarifying question? But you're letting them share their feeling and why they're feeling that. And then when they're finished, you say, what do you need? And we have a needs card. And it may be that they need identification, someone else who's felt a similar thing. They may need containment, just a place to say it. They may need advice, but often we jump in with advice and nobody needs it.
Right. Most of us don't need it.
Most of us don't need it. So
Okay. What's the last one?
that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. Share a feeling, share what's going on, and then what do you need from the group?
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
So how often do you do that?
Weekly we try. Now that things are kind of picking back up with schedules, sometimes people are out of town, but the goal is weekly. And then once a month we get together as families and have a Shabbat meal.
Oh, have you been to Israel?
I have.
Isn't that was one of the most powerful things I've ever experienced in Israel.
You want to talk about seeing.
Yes.
It's like the 5th gospel. I can't unsee what I saw when I read God's word now.
Exactly.
It changes everything.
Even the Shabbat dinner, that the
Amazing.
woman is the one lighting the candles and the husband honors her and sees her before everything else and before the whole Shabbat dinner begins.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And it's for that community happening every Friday night.